Hello, yoga friends. So today we're going to be working on some balancing options. So we're going to find our way into some balancing half moon and balancing revolved half moon. So an option that you might feel comfortable in your balancing is a yoga block. I'll show you ways you can use it, or if you're not having a block available at wherever you're yogaing with me today, maybe you can find a household item that will give you a little bit of stability or just a little bit of a guidance into the balances. And then at the end, we'll have our final relaxation. So if you have an eye pillow or a wash rag or towel to cover your eyes, if you have essential oils that you want stimulating oils, you might choose a citrus blend. Or if you want calming oils, you can do lavender or calming peaceful blend. So those are some options if you want to grab those. We'll get started in the class in just a few moments. And while we're waiting, if you've already got your items prepared beside you, we'll find our bodies resting in our comfortable seated position, and we'll begin to work on some breathing. So with our inhale, noticing the breath traveling from the nose, expanding into the belly. Feel that belly expand like a balloon. As we exhale, relaxing the belly, resting the breath into the lower back. So feel just a little bit of openness, lengthening. Feel that rib cage grow tall, the heart opens, the belly opens. Exhaling, feeling rest in our shoulders, relax into the head. Take just a few breaths and flow that breath into any place that you might be finding any extra sensations today. And then feel just a little bit of peace and rest through your tailbone, through your shoulders. The next time we feel that top of the head reach up to the sky, let's start to relax our neck. So maybe an ear rests to the shoulder, feel the side of the neck starting to open. Let's feel the top of the head reach up to the sky and then relax over towards the other side. Shoulder blades are trying to rest as we open. As we move to center, maybe give those shoulder blades a little bit of movement, a little flowing through the shoulders. And with our shoulders resting, we can open the palms, inhaling fingertips up towards the sky, exhaling thumbs down into our heart. Inhaling as we lengthen tall. Exhaling as we relax down. Let's find one more breath. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, resting. Stretching one arm up towards the sky. The ribs grow tall. The ribs stretch over, and we feel that stretch through the tailbone, through the rib cage, through the fingertips. Let's move to neutral and trade. Sending the other arm up towards the sky. Lift the ribs. Stretch it over. Hips, shoulders, ribs. Find that stretch in our side body. Moving back to the center, let our inhale lift the rib cage. As we exhale, let's twist to the side, creating length on the inhales, creating rotation through the exhales. Just a little release as we breathe. So find our way back to neutral. We'll inhale and lift up tall. So we exhale, twisting towards the other side, feeling lift. Feel a little rotation in our spine. Just a moment to breathe. We find our way back to neutral. Our inhale sends our palms up to the sky. Our exhale rests our thumbs down to the heart. Let's reach into an all-fours position, guiding our wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Feel that spine be tall. Inhaling as we send our rib cage forward. Feel openness in our cow pose. Exhaling as we lift our ribs up to the sky, folding into our cat. Feel that flowing movement as we breathe. Inhale, expanding the cow. Exhale, folding the cat. Creating that movement through our spine as you relax into the breath. Just a little bit of openness as we press forward into cow. A little release as we fold into cat. We'll stretch in our spine. And Bella may decide to come and hang out with me in yoga. Bella, you going to show everybody your downward dog and your upward dog? You going to show them? No? All right. Oh, there she goes. Downward dog. Upward dog. Good job. Now we're going to find our neutral spine. Let's fold side to side. Shoulders towards the hips on one side. Shoulders towards the hips on the other side. Just a little release through our spine. Letting your spine feel that flowing movement wherever it feels the best. Try to wake up the body. Just get a little bit of movement to get everything ready for deeper stretching. As we find our way into neutral, feel the stability in the spine as our right heel extends behind us. Maybe the left fingertips reach forward, maybe the left thumb reaches up to the sky, and we extend opposite arm, opposite leg, and reach. Let's release that side down, and then we'll trade. Extending through the left heel, maybe reaching the right fingertips forward or right thumb out. Really feel that reach, opposite arm, opposite leg. And relax down. Now we're going to flow that back and forth. So we're inhaling, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhaling, resting down. Inhale, trading sides. Exhaling down. We're just flowing back and forth, but noticing the shoulders, the ribs, the spine. Still trying to keep that strength in our torso as we flow side to side. When we find a little evenness in our movements, folding our bodies into child's pose and feel a rest. Shoulders, ribs, lower back all releasing as we breathe. Option to continue in our child's pose. Maybe we feel like lengthening the spine into a kneeling plank. Again, stabilize the spine, collarbone, ribs belly in. We can hang out or exhale, elbows into our rib cage. Inhale, lifting the heart opens to cobra, pulling the hips back to child's pose to relax in child's pose. Or we can lengthen to downward dog, tucking into our toes, tailbone up towards the sky, knees bent or legs straight, or moving the legs one thigh pulling forward, the other thigh flowing back. As we guide our feet towards our hands, our bodies find rest in our forward fold. Our inhale lifts us just halfway, grounding our heels. Let's inhale, lift up all the way, heart towards the sky, opening into our chest. I'm going to reach one arm just a little taller, reaching the other arm just a little taller. Feel the shoulders, the ribs, the side body stretching out. We're going to inhale, pull the heart up towards the sky. Exhale, finding airplane just halfway. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, hinging. Let's do one more. Inhaling tall. This time, swan diving down on the exhale, fingertips resting towards the ground, shoulders releasing. So we inhale, reach up halfway. So we exhale, right knee back. Relaxing the knee, relaxing the back toe, arms on the either side of the front leg, the inside, or you're welcome to use your block. Inhaling, hips and heart stretching forward. Exhaling, hips and thighs resting back. So maybe we're flowing with our breath. Inhaling towards the lunge. Exhaling towards the half pyramid. Letting your body choose your range of motion, your pace of movement. Finding a place of relaxation and rest into our breath. We're welcome to keep this movement flowing. Maybe we feel like hanging out, either option, continuing with the tall spine. Maybe find a little more intensity with our ribs sinking a little further in towards our thighs as we breathe. Our next inhale sends our hips and heart forward. Exhaling back to our child's pose for a rest. Maybe we're feeling like more movement. Inhaling through our plank or kneeling plank to stay. Or we can exhale, elbows in towards our ribs. Inhaling, lifting into our lungs. Exhaling, relaxing back and breathing. Helping that right foot find its way forward into our lunge. That next inhale sends our hips and heart forward. That exhale relaxes the hips and thighs back. So maybe we're flowing with our breath. Inhaling through our lunge. Exhaling through our half pyramid. Taking just a moment to breathe. Feeling that release through our breath. We can keep the movement flowing. We can hang out, keeping the spine tall, maybe sinking our ribs into our thighs and breathe. Our inhale pulls our hips and heart forward. Maybe those back toes are finding the front toes as we rest in our forward fold. Our inhale lifts us just halfway. Pushing through the heels, let's inhale and lengthen up all the way, heart to the sky. As we exhale, add a twist, sending one arm forward, the other arm back. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling towards the other side. Inhaling tall, exhale, twisting. Feeling that reach, feeling that rotation as we breathe. As we find a little evenness in our twisting, our inhale pulls the heart open. So we exhale, find our airplane, lower belly coming in. Inhaling, lengthening tall. Exhaling to airplane. Let's do one more. Inhale, lifting, and then exhale, swan dive all the way down. Stretching the left foot behind us as we find our lunge. That knee can be lifted or lowered, whichever feels better. Maybe we're twisting towards the front thigh and stretching the ribs open as we breathe. Let's release back, choosing child's pose or downward dog. Did you decide to downward dog with me, Bella? We can hang out in our child's pose, downward dog. We can inhale, finding plank or kneeling plank to hang out in. Maybe we exhale with control, elbows in towards the ribs. Inhaling, lifting, and stretching the lungs open. Exhaling back. Feeling that stretch in our breath. More downward dogs, fellas. More downward dogs. I know. Let's help our left foot find its way to lunge. Heel resting under the knee. Hanging out in our lunge. Maybe we're twisting here. Turning towards that front thigh. Reaching the spine tall. Resting down and then back. Finding child's pose or downward dog. Just a moment to hang out. A few deep breaths. We'll have the option to inhale and pull that right foot up towards the sky. So we exhale, helping that right foot find its way into our lunge. If you're using the block, you'll want to have it either inside the front leg or in front of the front foot. As we plant into our back heel, let's reach our ribs open to warrior two. Arms stretching towards our legs. Ribs growing tall on the inhale. Kick in that front outer hip to draw the knee towards the toe. Feeling that stability as we breathe. So we're feeling the lift of the ribs, feeling the release in the hips. Now we're going to lengthen the front leg towards straight. Exhale, front knee back towards the toe. So feel just a little bit of reach, a little release through this front leg. We'll rest into our breath. Now as we find the front knee bent, let's relax the elbow to the thigh, stacking the shoulders, the ribs, the hips, and feel a little sinking through the tailbone, stretching here. Now you can stay elbow on the thigh. You can do fingertips to the ground, feeling that openness in the rib cage as we reach to the back of the head, the back of the hips. Now we have the option to keep the front knee bent or lengthening the front leg towards straight into our triangle position, feeling the inner thighs engage, the ribs lifting, the obliques are keeping our torso strong, so we stretch into the spine. And then if we've extended this front leg towards straight, we're bending the knee. Now you're going to heel toe the back foot in. Back hand can come to your hip for stability if you'd like. Now as you find a little bit of shortened space here, your hand can be at the front of your foot on the block or floor. We're going to think about this back heel floating out in line with our hip as the front leg takes on the weight. So our back hand can stay on the hip or reach up to the sky, and we're stretching in to the side body as we breathe. Now if we've lifted up into this half moon, we'll meet our friends that kept their foot on the floor and then release back into our lunge. Option to add a twist, turning towards the front thigh, expanding the chest, and then releasing back. Finding child's pose or downward dog, we can hang out. We're welcome to move. Maybe we're finding plank or kneeling plank. We can exhale, elbows in, inhaling, lifting open, and then exhaling, relaxing back. Finding that place of rest into our breath. Just be releasing exhales. Option to pull that left foot up towards the sky into our three-legged dog, helping that left foot find its way into lunge. And again, if we're using that prop, you may want it inside your foot or in front of your foot to position when you might want to use it. The back heel feels the ground, the arms stretch open, find that warrior two. Ribs growing tall as we inhale, tailbone relaxing. For our exhale, shoulders releasing. This outer hip kicks in to keep this thigh stable, drawing towards the toes. Now let's follow this a few times, inhaling, front leg towards straight, exhaling, front knee bends. So just a little length, a little release, finding rest into our breath. We'll end up hanging out in that warrior two. Feel the ribs growing tall. Feel the hips sinking down just a little deeper. And then maybe the elbow rests on our thigh. You can stretch the arm out or up or over the head wherever you're feeling stable today. And feel that release here. Now your elbow can stay on your thigh. You can have hand inside foot or resting to the floor. We can even stretch this leg towards straight into a triangle, feeling that length through our legs, our spine. Extending this front leg is optional. You can stay in the side angle wherever you're feeling a good stretch and breathe. Now if we've lengthened out the front leg, we'll go ahead and lower it. Maybe that back can rest on the hip as we heel toe this back foot in. You're finding the space that this front foot is taking on the weight, and this front hand is either reaching inside the front foot or the block. We're going to think about lifting this back heel, pressing through the heel, through the back of the head as we find this half moon. Maybe this top arm stretches up to the sky and you find that openness through the body as we breathe. Now if we've lifted this back heel, we're going to release it back, joining our friends that hanged out there while we were lifted. And then we'll come back into our lunge. Back knee can be up or down. Maybe we're twisting towards the front thigh. And then we're moving back. Maybe child's pose, maybe downward dog. We can hang out, we can flow, maybe finding plank or kneeling plank. We can exhale, elbows in towards our ribs, inhaling, reaching our ribs open, and then exhaling it back. And relax, just a moment to breathe. So with our inhale, sending or having the option to send this right foot up towards the sky, sending our right foot into our lunge, taking a moment to breathe. Now our back knee can be up or down. We are going to do some twisting in our lunge, so if you do feel a little bit more stability with the back knee rested, that's always available. Now we're going to release this left palm under the shoulder. Let's twist towards this front thigh and extend through the fingertips. Now you're thinking about your collarbone opening wide, your ribs opening wide. Inner thighs are engaging. Now we're going to take a deep breath and lift the torso in the twist. So left arm's reaching forward, right arm's reaching back. Then we can hang out here. You can send your hands to your thigh, your forearm outside the thigh, or you can hook the elbow, drawing our thumbs in towards our rib cage, heart to the side. Taking a moment to feel that rotation and release wherever it feels the best today. Now I have a few options here. So you can stay in this twisted variation. You can rest the left palm back down to the floor. You can send that back hand to the hip and maybe pull the back foot in a bit. You can even send your front hand up to the wrist or just in front of the front foot. Maybe lifting the back heel on the twist. And then as the top arm extends, we're now in our revolving half moon option. Take a moment to breathe. And then if we've lifted our back leg, we're lowering it, relaxing our hands forward. Now with the back knee up or down, we're stretching our front leg towards straight, allowing your hips to rest. Maybe our ribs release, feeling just a few resting breaths. That inhale guides us forward. Exhaling, child's pose or downward dog. Wherever you're feeling like hanging out today, we can always choose stillness. Maybe we're inhaling, finding plank or kneeling plank. Exhaling, elbows folding in. Inhaling, lifting chest open. And then exhaling it back. Finding that rest and release. Just a moment to breathe. Then we'll have that option to send that left foot up towards the sky, and then helping that left foot find its way forward into our lunge. So same option, maybe the back knee is up or down. We're resting the right palm under the shoulder, turning towards the left thigh, reaching out the arms and breathe. So from here, you're really feeling that rotation, belly reaching to the thigh, spine growing tall. As you feel the inner thighs engage, you'll feel the stability in the legs, so that maybe you can lift the torso in the twist, still reaching our arms towards our legs, rotating into the spine. So you can keep your arms reaching out. You can rest your hands to the front leg, maybe the front forearm comes outside the thigh, maybe the elbow hooks outside the thigh. You can draw your palms together, opening the heart to the thumbs, and feeling that reach through the body as we breathe. Just wherever you're feeling a good stretch today, and rest into the breath. So if we found a good place, we're enjoying this twist, we can just hang out here. We can return that right palm back to the floor, left arm up to the sky, or on the back hip and hang out here. Or again, you can pull the back foot in, still trying to keep that twisting movement in the spine. So as the back heel lifts, maybe we just stretch up the arm and we're in our revolved half moon. So if we are hanging out here just for a couple of breaths, feeling that openness and release, and then maybe that back foot rest, joining the friends that we're twisting. We're returning our rib cage forward. Back knee can be up or down as we stretch this front leg towards straight, and you feel that release in our hips, so our ribs and shoulders. Relax forward and rest into our breath. As we draw forward into the lunge, we can return, finding child's pose, maybe downward dog, options to hang out, options to flow, maybe plank or kneeling plank, maybe exhaling in, inhaling, stretching open, exhaling, resting back. So taking just a moment to breathe, wherever you're feeling a good stretch, feeling that relaxation into our breath. From here, we're going to come either into plank or kneeling plank, and I'll give you options for both. We're going to just start the kneeling plank, it's the least intense option, and then you have the option just hang out here. So maybe this collarbone lifts up so you can float the left knee. If that feels okay, we're going to rest the left toes by the left knee, maybe even rest the left foot on the inside of that right thigh. Now you can pick up the right knee and then feel the whole body roll to your side. So it's kind of like a kneeling side plank, this little baby tree leg. So have that option with the knees lifted. So plank, side plank, in that tree position. So whichever one feels better, knee up or down, we're going to stretch into our spine and relax. Into our breath, feel your rib cage lifting, feel your spine lengthening, those obliques hanging out. Now we're returning to plank or kneeling plank, and then we're going to try to trade sides. So You can have your bottom knee rested, and then you can float maybe the right arm up as well. Maybe not. Some days it works, some days it doesn't work. It's a little easier to do it from this lifted position. You can just float the bottom knee, or you can float the top. We'll take just a moment to breathe, either option. As we come back, let's find our way into child's pose. Just give your shoulders a moment to relax. Maybe we need to wiggle out our fingers, give our wrists just a little bit of movement, shoulders relaxing. Take a moment to breathe. Maybe both arms stretch over towards one side, maybe back to the center, maybe towards the other side. And as we're ready to trade sides, we're lengthening into plank or kneeling plank, those same options. So if we're in that kneeling plank, lower belly kicks in, maybe this right knee floats, maybe the right foot comes inside. You can pick up the left heel and then feel that kneeling side plank. If you enjoy this kneeling option, we can stay here. You can lengthen out the bottom leg, feeling the ribs stretching tall, feeling the spine growing tall, feeling that strength through our side body as we breathe, noticing that rest and relaxation into our breath. Then you can hang out on this side if you want to do that other side. So you're basically, I'll move to the other side so you can just see a little easier. Basically just letting this right knee rest, and then maybe allowing this straight leg to lift. You can release out the tree toe option if that feels better. Or if that top leg is grounding, you can float up the bottom knee into this kind of upside down tree side plank. And then wherever we're at, we're returning to our plank side plank or kneeling plank, taking a moment to breathe, releasing back either to child's pose or downward dog. Maybe we're resting in child's pose to give your wrist and your fingers a little bit of movement. We can stay relaxing. We can feel the heart drawing forward into the plank, kneeling plank. We can exhale, elbows to our ribs. Inhale, lifting the lungs. Exhaling, resting it back. Find that release into our breath. And as we're feeling pretty good about it, we're going to have the option to do all fours or downward dog. And again, I'll show you options from either side. So we'll start with the option for all fours for the least intense option. So maybe this right arm reaches under towards this left leg. So maybe we're tapping the thigh, maybe we're just reaching towards it with the floor. We're reaching our ribs on the inhale and then pulling our ribs to the left side of the body. So if you're in downward dog, you might need to walk in for a little shorter stance, but still that right arm is reaching under towards this left leg. And we'll just release as we breathe. And as we relax here, we're going to have the option to trade sides. So same thing, all fours, so downward dog. This left arm reaches under the ribs, pulling that rib cage to the right side of the body. Or from that downward dog position, same thing. Just reaching under, feeling that stretch into our breath. And then whenever we feel like we've evened out, resting in our forward fold. So maybe we're bending our knees till our fingertips tap the ground, the shins or the thighs, whichever feels better. Maybe our head and neck finds just a little bit of up and down movement. Maybe just a little bit of release side to side. Maybe a little up and down again. And as we inhale, reaching our spine up just halfway. Feel that reach through the back of the head, the back of the hips. Option to have straight legs or soft bend in the knees, whichever is feeling the best on your body at the moment. As we plant the heels, let's inhale, fingertips up towards the sky, relaxing the arms, add a little sway, feel your shoulders, feel your ribs, feel your little lower back, all relaxed into our breath. All right, so from here, we're gonna be doing some combining balances. So we're gonna start with tree with the option to stay in tree, but you can turn your tree into a standing pigeon, and then you can turn your standing pigeon into either a star or a hand to big toe pose. So you're gonna have the option to stay in the tree or move the tree. And I'll be moving, I'll give you cues along the way if you wanna try that option. So we're gonna feel the grounding in one leg, whichever leg you want to start balancing with. So that leg takes on the weight, thigh engaged, knee joint softens. The other thigh can be forward or out to the side. So we're reaching in to stabilize the hips, reaching up to stabilize the core, grounding into our palms, finding our focal point. So this might be our position that we hang out our entire balance. As your standing leg takes on the weight, we can float the toe. We can rest the foot inside the calf. We can guide the foot inside the thigh. Grounding palms at the heart, or resting, or reaching. Anywhere along the way, we're finding the most stability today and feeling the breath relax us in our tree. We're finding peace, we're finding relaxation, just noticing the rest into our breath. Now, I told you we have some options to hang out. We're gonna have some options to flow this into different balances. So again, the standing leg has to take on the weight, while maybe the tree pose ankle now comes either above the knee or at the calf region, or just treeing with your ankle flexed above that standing leg ankle. We can stay tall and lifted, or you can exhale and send your tailbone back as though you're sitting in like a one-legged chair. Hands again can be where you're feeling stable. You can keep them over the head, at the heart, up to the side, wherever you're feeling. You can stretch today and breathe, creating relaxation into our breath. So if we found that we really enjoy this standing pigeon option, we can stay here. If you think you might want to do that hand to big toe option, you can grab a hold of the shin, pick up the lower back like we're going to do cat pose. And then as your leg lifts, you can do peace fingers to big toe or hand to the side of the foot. The other hand can find balance or out to the side. You can reach the knee up and push the leg forward or out to the side. Or if this little hand to big toe pose isn't working as your best option today, you can just star pose. So whichever we're feeling the most stable with, taking a moment to breathe. And we can all relax, moving our joints just a bit. I know your standing ankle is talking to you. You want to give it just some circling movements, reminding it that you're very happy it was stable to help support you. But we're thinking about our bodies giving us support as we balance, find our strength. As we're ready, we're trading sides. So maybe the other heel feels the ground, thigh engagement, allowing the knee joint to soften. The other knee is forward, or maybe it opens to the side. We're reaching in to stabilize, lifting up, planting into our palms, finding that focal point. And again, this might be our balance for the entire sequence. Always making the choice that feels the best on your body, since you get to live with your body and no one else has to live with your body but you. So your choice in your living room or wherever you're yogaing with me today. So the toe can stay on the floor, float. Maybe your foot relaxes inside the leg. You can help it into the thigh. We're avoiding pressure on our joints, finding that stability with the palms grounding at the heart or the palms to the side or fingertips up to the ceiling. Just give a little different option. You can even do like little goal post arms if that feels better. We're feeling the breath, helping our body to find peace in our balance. So again, we have the option to just hang out in this tree pose. You can turn your tree pose into the standing pigeon with your ankle flexing above the knee, at the calf, or the ankle. Again, we can stay tall and lifted. As we exhale, the tailbone can come back, finding the standing pigeon option. Shoulders are relaxing, lower belly comes in, feeling that stability through our body as we breathe. Now, if we found a really good place to balance, we can just hang out. Again, if you want to grab hold of the leg, if you want to try this balancing lift, cat back pulls us up to standing, and then you can take same hand as foot or peace fingers to big toe. Feel that length in the spine. Maybe the other arm comes out for counterbalancing. So again, you can hang out here, you can draw the foot forward, maybe the foot comes out to the side, maybe it feels better just to do the star pose. So you can choose the option that feels the best on your body. Today, we're just take a few more deep breaths, wherever we're feeling our best stretch, and relax into our exhales. When you're ready to release, let's rest out. That standing leg joint, ankle joint is talking to you, mine's talking to me. So we're just gonna give them some movement, maybe even shake out your arms, maybe even shake out the legs. Remind them we're so happy they're helping support us, being very thankful for our bodies. And then as we're ready, finding our way back to the front of our mats. Our lungs expand on the inhale, swan diving through the exhale, resting our shoulders just for a bit. So maybe our head and neck feels like a little up and down movement. Maybe just a little bit side to side movement. Maybe just a little up and down again. Feeling that rest in our body as we breathe. And reaching our bodies back, choosing either downward dog or child's or all fours. You can choose. Feel a little stretch into our breath. Now we're going to move or have the option to send your right leg into your pigeon of choice. So maybe the right foot reaches up to the sky, right knee can stretch forward. If your body does not enjoy the space, your knee or your hip feel any extra sensations, one of the easiest ways to remedy this is just to roll onto your spine and find this little reclined pigeon option. So regardless of where our body feels pigeon, or maybe you just don't really like pigeon, you can hang out child's pose or downward dog or any other option. That rib cage can stretch open. We can stay lifted more this proud, expanded pigeon, or you can rest down to more of a sleeping or relaxed pigeon and feel just a moment to breathe through our thighs, our hips, finding rest and relaxation into our breath, resting into our exhales. So our next inhale sends our rib cage up, feel the openness in our chest. As long as she's not barking, she can. Now we can tuck into this back toe, pull through your lower belly. If you want to float your pigeon leg into this little pigeon plank for a little bit more stability, we can. We can return to child's pose or back up to the sky to the three-legged dog and breathe. Now, when we're ready to pigeon on the other side, if you'd like To lift that left heel up first, we can. Maybe the left knee comes forward again. You can choose your pigeon of choice that works the best on your body. As your hips relax, that chest can lift open. We can feel this expansion in the front side of the body. We can relax forward. Choose in any place of release that works the best today. And noticing rest and relaxation into our breath. Just feeling peace through the body. Relaxing through our exhales. Whenever our bodies are ready to relax out, maybe our inhale sends our rib cage back open. Feeling that whole lift from the front side of the body. We can ground into our palms, into our back toes. Maybe we find this floating pigeon plank and hang out here for a little stability. We can return to downward dog. We can stretch the foot back up to the sky, to that three-legged dog. As we rest, if we're in downward dog, option to bend the knees and the hips just a little bit side to side and relax into our breath. Anytime we're ready for stillness, maybe we're releasing here, feeling that relaxation. We can release out any stretching parts of the body that need a little extra release. Any stretch you feeling like you want a little more relaxation is always welcome. Choose what your body feels the best about today. Then we're inhaling and pulling our spine tall. With our exhale, let's lengthen out our legs ahead of us into our staff pose and just feel a little flowing movement through our tailbone. Just a little stretch and release as we breathe. Now as our spine grows tall, our shoulders relax, you can open up one foot and pull the foot either towards the calf or towards the inner thigh. So our spine can stay tall and lifted. We can hinge towards the diagonal. You can hinge a little further forward, keeping that length in the spine. If you'd rather rest your head and your neck a bit, you can. It depends on where you're feeling the best about today and where you're feeling like stretching. If you're at a point that you've noticed a lot of extra rounding in the shoulders, it might feel better to keep our folds to where our collarbone is pushing forward and our shoulders are pushing back. So we're stretching a little bit more on this front side body and reminding that back side body that it doesn't have to pull forward, that this chest can keep us lifted to remind our postural muscles to kick in as we breathe. Now we're sinking or lifting our spine tall, shoulders resting. Now we're going to pick up this straight leg. So you can start with the thigh, shoulders resting, and then press through the heel. So we're feeling that length in our spine, exhaling. Maybe the thigh comes a little closer to the chest. You can continue to hold on at the thigh, or maybe hold on at the calf, or if your arms allow, maybe hold on at the foot. So we're continuing to exhale, noticing the spine coming in just as close to the chest as it wants to go, and breathe. Now we're going to have options to just hang out here. You can turn this into a balance by feeling your tailbone taking on the weight of the body, and the bent knee has the option to float, or this bent knee has the option to move. So maybe it extends to the side and bends back in. So finding what your body feels its best option with today. And breathe. Now we're all going to lengthen out this bottom leg out to the side. We're going to allow this top leg to relax. You can have more of like a open V. You can open your leg more to an L. Just noticing that your tailbone is resting. So if we open it to the point that you're feeling like you're wobbling instead of grounded in your tailbone, then you can readjust to where you feel most stable. So we're gonna pull towards this front leg again, lengthening on the inhale, hinging maybe the diagonal, maybe hinging, resting deeper. Again, deciding if you want to add the round and relax or to keep the chest muscles active. Now you have the option to stay chest up this front leg. You can start to bring the ribs on the inside and maybe just slowly breathing the torso towards the side leg. So it doesn't have to be a lot of big movements. Maybe slowly inching our way from one leg towards the other leg. Maybe your spine is tall and lifted, just noticing the body moving where you're feeling the most stable, and breathe. When you get as far to your side leg as you feel the best stretch, relax here a few exhales. And then we're going to try to lift the torso and maybe lift the side leg. And then take this leg up forward and rock the legs just a little bit side to side. Now we're going to trade sides. So the other foot comes in, reaching the spine tall, again hinging to the diagonal or folding, wherever you're feeling your best stretch today, breathing that relaxation into our breath, through resting exhales. Always chewing on her belly. She likes to be in every video of yoga that I'm in. It's her thing. She likes to be the famous yoga dog, even though she really doesn't do yoga on command ever. But sometimes she will be down the dog. All right, so we're going to lengthen up our spine. Maybe lift this straight leg with us and let your shoulders relax. So you can hold on to the thigh, the calf, the foot, wherever your body allows that reach. We're resting the shoulders, the ribs, lower back. So as we're holding on to this straight leg, that tailbone takes stability, our abdominals kick in, and you can float the standing up. Again, options to move, lengthening the leg out to the side, bending the knee, wherever your body's feeling. It's a stretch today and relax into our breath. Now as we reach this leg out to the side, you can relax the top leg back, then stay where your body landed if you want a little further openness or further closer to the legs together, wherever you're feeling your best stretch. We're moving back to the front leg, lengthening on the inhale, hinging to the exhale, relaxing. Where we're feeling a good stretch today, allowing the body to breathe. Again, you can rest your head and neck. You can keep pushing that collarbone forward. You can stay at the front leg. You can start walking towards the side leg. Maybe slowly drawing the ribs from one side to the other. Maintaining that release of the collarbone. Slowly traveling the body from one leg to the other leg. Let your body release anywhere along the way. If you're feeling a good stretch, you're going to maybe stop at the side leg for a few deep breaths or whatever. You're feeling a good stretch today and relax into the exhale. Inhale, guiding our spine tall. Let's reaching this side leg back towards the front leg. You can fold forward, or you can just relax tall. So you can choose. You can also have a soften in the knees that will help protect any extra sensations in the lower back. So if you want to fold, you can lift the ribs, and rest the ribs forward again. Same options, you can fold and release, and you can keep your heart drawing towards your toes. Now with our spine lifted tall, shoulders resting, let's draw our feet towards the front of the mat, having space to release behind us. So if you've been using a block or something that resembles a block that might feel comfortable under your tailbone for supported bridge, or that will stay inside your legs for a variation of a supported bridge, or for a restorative fish. You can have your block by your side so it's accessible when you're relaxing on your spine. So as our inner thighs engage, lower body engage, holding on, reaching the spine towards the ground, shoulders resting, arms to the rest of the side, or if our shoulders are feeling okay, maybe the arms reach over our head and our fingers and our toes, actively moving them away from each other as we breathe. You're welcome to add rest at any time, shoulder and ribs, lower back release. You're welcome to just relax here as we're ready for bridge pose, sending our heels in towards our hips. And then if you know that you might like to use this block in a bridge position, you can use it inside the thighs for a little bit more pelvic floor strengthening. You can support your lower back in the bridge, a little less intensity there. If you don't want to use the block or not have anything available, you can always bridge without it. So as our shoulders wiggle in, fingers reach towards the heels, forearms, feet push into the ground as our thighs, hips, and ribs stretch open, gaze to the sky, and our thighs stabilizing, pelvic floor stabilizing, lungs expanding for each inhale, finding grounding and relaxation with our exhale, and noticing that peace and stretch through the breath, feeling that relaxation with each exhale. If there's someone that has noticed rounding in the spine, this bridge pose is really good to remind the front side of the body to open, feel the grounding, the shoulders, forearms, feet, feeling that reach through the back side of the body, getting strength there to breathe. This is also good to just remind the lungs to open, especially if we've been sitting folded in a folded position. It's good to remind the body to open up in front. Whenever we're ready to relax, we can send our spine to the floor. Sending our thighs towards our shoulders. Feeling a little release here, you can just rest the thighs towards the chest, or you can open to the happy baby with the feet reaching up to the sky, hands on the thighs, the calves forward, the feet as they're tailbone, bridge, shoulders relaxed. We can rock just a bit side to side. Finding that relaxation with the spine, the hips, and breathe. We can guide the soles of the feet together. Maybe our heels sink down in towards our hips, shoulders relaxing just for the breathe. So we can hang out here and relax into this pivot. We want to add a little abdominal strengthening. We've been working on our obliques in this week today. So our hands can hang out, holding onto our head. We can float the head and neck, and we can start folding our elbows and our knees towards each other. Feeling that rib cage pulling us side to side. As we feel a little evenness in our movements, if we lifted our head and neck, we're resting, stacking our knees over our hips, when the knees and toes reach together, so forearms and shoulders pushing to the ground. We can flow this side to side, thighs to one side, thighs to the other side. Or if you'd like a little bit more static twisting, the knees can relax over to one side and hang out, gazing away from our knees, feeling that release. That, whether it's our shoulders, wherever we're finding a relaxing stretch, feeling this is resting. We've been hanging out on one side, grab the shoulders, use the core to lift the knees, and release them over towards the other side. If we're still flowing, side to side, continuing that flowing movement as long as it feels like the best option for your spine today. Feeling the gaze away from our knees to allow the head to be a part of that rotation in our spine. We're using those abdominals to guide our knees back to neutral, maybe hugging the thighs to the chest to hang out, maybe rocking a bit side to side. You know that your body enjoys a special stretch. At the end of each yoga practice, you're welcome to move into any stretch you enjoy. If you have a pillow, blanket, or a block that you might want to try a little bit of a restorative fish, it also helps remind these postural muscles to kick in. You'll just want the top to be under your shoulder blades so that the top of the head can rest on the ground, the throat, the chin open up. You can have your feet wide, knees together, feet together, knees wide, lengthen out the legs, keep it up. Lift through your lower legs, support the lower back, you open up the front side of the body. If you found a good stretch and you really want to hang out here for the end of our class, we're welcome to stay in that restorative fish as long as that feels like a good option. You can find any other position of rest. If you gathered an eye pillow or a wash rag or a towel with essential oils of your choice, you're welcome to place that over your eyes just to decrease the stimulation from any lights or extra sensations around us. So we're just trying to block out our surroundings for just a moment. You can also allow our nervous system to find a little bit of extra rest and relaxation as our eyes find that moment of peace. The shoulders feel peace, the palms, the feet feel openness, as our shavasana allows our body to relax. We're focusing on that deep breathing. As we did in the beginning of our class, we're inhaling. Feel that abdominal lift up like a balloon as we're exhaling. Feeling the abdominals releasing its right out back. We're finding rest and peace. We're breathing in that calming, resting, peaceful air with each inhale. We're feeling that relaxation as we relax the breath out of the body, that helps with the nose. If we're maintaining that breath in our belly, we're noticing that ebb and flow. The abdominals opening up towards the sky, the abdominals relaxing into the lower back, and towards the ground. We're feeling that rest and relaxation as we notice that diaphragm activating to help the lungs open and close. Traveling that fresh oxygenated breath through the body with each inhale, eliminating all of the breath that is no longer serving us. Noticing peace and relaxation. Continuing to relax just as we are, maybe we're welcoming the breath to our body. We can breathe into our hands and our feet, welcoming the movements and relaxation of each time. Breathing into our wrists, into our ankles. Relaxing to our lower legs, our lower arms. Continuing to feel the breath resting to our knees, our elbows. Bringing rest and relaxation to our thighs and hips. Breathing into our upper arms, our shoulders. Feeling that peace in our breath. Relaxing the spine, resting into our collarbone, our back. Releasing the rib cage, our legs. Resting in it. So on our spine, we can stay relaxed as we are. If we want to hug the thighs to the chest, relax the spine a bit side to side, we can rest over onto our side for a moment. Feeling that peace and calm and breath traveling into our left nostril. Resting out anything we just don't need today. With that right nostril down in towards the ground. Breathing in peace, calm, relaxation. Resting out anything that is no longer serving. When your body is ready for a comfortable seated position, you're welcome to find a place of comfort with your legs, your tailbone to relax. You can even sit on your prop if you want a little extra lift and external rotation of the hips with gravity. You can rest our palms by the side, shoulders relaxed. Our inhale, elbows, fingertips up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs down into the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we lower. Exhaling one more breath. Inhaling as we fall. Exhaling as we down. And thank you all for joining me. Have just a wonderful Monday. It's super cold where I live, so this is why you see me in the living room and not in the driveway. Thank you for everyone who joined me online, and everyone have just an awesome Monday. See you all tomorrow at noon.